Hello and happy Friday. This is Bill Steffen. We got a hot weekend ahead for you with temperatures here up into the low 90s. Quick hi to our affiliate viewers that are coming from the Ottawa News Network. Glad that you are here. We got a full moon out there. I'm looking at it right now out the window. A 98% full moon. It reaches 100% full at 3:55 a.m. Saturday, and the full moon of August is called the Sturgeon moon. A sturgeon can live 150 years. I mean, more than a human. It's really amazing. They're big, sometimes 6 feet long. They've been in the Great Lakes for a long time. Not many of them, but it's quite an interesting, and I think that's called a prehistoric fish. Well, where was the rain here Thursday? It was generally off to the east of us in the Thumb area, and especially up there around Alpena. They had a thunderstorm that formed on the lake breeze there, lake breeze coming in from Lake Huron, meeting the land breeze. And there was a little convergence there, and that lifted the air on up. And boy, they had some pretty good rains there. Alpena picked up a little over half an inch, but up to 3 to 4 inches of rain occurred near Hubbard Lake. And there were a couple of reports of 2-inch hail at Lachine and also at 6 miles east of Alpena, which sounds like it would be out in the middle of Lake Huron. But a couple of reports of large hail. 1-inch hail fell at Spruce. So we missed out again. There's the map that shows the wildfires up in Canada. There's been some complaints from the U.S. about Canada not keeping up with the fires, but they are putting out, I think, a pretty reasonable effort in getting some of these fires under control. Many of them are east and north of Lake Winnipeg. So some of them are quite small. A spark will go and ignite a small fire, so it kind of looks like there's giant areas of red there, but it's not quite like that. Here's a look at some of the statistics that we have. 159 fires are burning in Manitoba. 19 fires are rated out of control, and that's down 1 from yesterday. There are 161 firefighters on the storms, including 8 water bombers. Those are the jets that you see there in the picture that are spraying water down there, and they're pretty effective if they could all hit kind of in the right spot. 48 helicopters working there. There's 5 other aircraft. I think they're doing chemicals, and 32 pieces of heavy machinery. I assume those are mostly bulldozers that are making fire breaks, but they are trying to attack those fires. These are high temperatures from Thursday, and you can tell the areas that haven't had very much rain, those are the areas that are getting the warmest, especially Fremont and the Holland Airport and Grand Rapids, now in kind of a moderate drought and even a severe drought over toward the Holland area. We'll take a look at that over the weekend. But we almost made 90 degrees here, 89 degrees for Grand Rapids and Ionia. Look at the South Haven Pier. They made 88, 2 degrees shy of 90 degrees on the South Haven Pier. That's pretty unusual to get that warm. Battle Creek at 87, and as you can see, the Muskegon Beach at 83, Holland Beach at 81. That's even with the wind kind of turning off the water there, and the Muskegon Pier checked in with a high temperature of 79. Here's a look at some of the water temperatures there. We made it into the 60s finally, Muskegon up to 68. The South Haven buoy showed a water temperature of 74. So once again, there's warmer water just beyond the shoreline reach, and hopefully we'll get some of that in over the weekend. Reed's Lake, 83. That was the afternoon temperature reading there. And that's pretty warm. Inland lakes have been quite warm here much of the last 3-4 weeks or so. Southwest winds tomorrow at about 5 to 10 knots. Taking a look at severe weather, this is for Friday afternoon and Friday night. There's a large area of slight risk, that's level 2, covers most of the state of Minnesota, northwest Wisconsin, and also parts of the eastern Dakotas. The dark green area is a marginal or level 1 outlook, and that includes much of upper Michigan and northern Wisconsin. So if anybody's heading up in that direction here into the weekend, you can count on the fact there'll be some pretty good thunderstorm activity there. This is Saturday. The area shrinks a little bit and moves a little bit farther east. If you're north of a line from about Silver Lake, Oceana County to around Alpena, Sheboygan, there is that risk for a marginal risk for severe weather. Again, wind damage would be the most likely threat. The greatest risk is level 2, slight risk, from northeast Iowa up into Wisconsin. Okay, here's a look at how much rain we expect over the next 66 hours. Look at Florida, that west coast of Florida. Many areas picking up some substantial rain there. That red area would indicate the possibility of 2 to 4 inches of rain over the next 66 hours, over 3 days or so. We get a little bit of rain in Michigan, but boy, not much. We could certainly use some more. Grand Rapids is in the 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, and that's the case from Muskegon up toward Ludington. Over across the lake in Wisconsin, rainfall amounts are expected to be heavier. Hopefully we'll get some. We could use some around here. 2 minutes less daylight than yesterday, 6:41 and 8:54, our sunrise and sunset time. Average high and low at 82 and 62. The record high for today, 96 and 1894. That was a very volatile year. If you look at the records for 1894, we had really cold stretches and really hot stretches too. Kind of reminded me of 1936. All right, we'll move on here and take a look at the tropics. There's an interesting map there in the lower right-hand corner that shows the rain that's fallen from Tropical Storm Evo, and that is in the Mexican coastline there, where they're really getting some substantial rains. It looks like there's some gaps in there, and the gaps are probably where the radar has not been able to penetrate and give a signal. So that's some substantial rain there along the west coast. Peak winds with Evo are around 50 miles an hour, gusts are 50 or so along the shoreline. That won't cause any major damage there, but the rainfall is expected to be up to 3 to 6 inches, so that's pretty significant. Much of the rest of Mexico is dry. And here's the Western Pacific and Indian Oceans, and as you can see, we have a cat that's coming to say hi. Kitty, no, you're gonna just. It's gonna sit on the computer and send it to Never Never Land. The Western Pacific Ocean, really not much going on. In the Indian Ocean, again, not much going on as well. There's 2 tropical depressions out there. Normally, we'd be following a tropical storm or a hurricane this time of year, and I expect activity to pick up into the next 1 to 2 weeks there in the Western Pacific. All right, let's move on. Our headlines: partly to mostly sunny, slight chance of a shower or thunder shower. Warm to hot. In fact, we'll be more on the hot side here with temperatures in the low 90s the next several days. And then higher humidity levels will be making it feel a little bit uncomfortable. That heat index should be up around 95 to 100 here over the next several days. So a very warm pattern that we're in. 90 for later on today, I'm going for a low temperature of 70. I think there'll be more sunlight than not. There'll be periods when it may go partly cloudy, and mostly clear to partly cloudy at night. South to southwest winds, I've got 5 to 15. It may be around 8 to 10 here for much of the day. And the humidity level, the relative humidity, falls to around 55% here during the afternoon. Taking a look at some specific high temperatures for the day today. Holland Regional Airport gets 89. South Haven, where there's Blueberry Fest going on. I really like blueberries. We just had some last week. I've kind of run dry now. I'm going to have to pick up some more. But they are out now, and they are good. Some of them are not supersized because of the dry conditions, but some are irrigated, and even the ones that are not irrigated did get enough rain that they look pretty good out there. So check out the blueberries. You can not only find them at farm markets, but you can find them in your local grocery stores as well. They get them from the local farms here in West Michigan too. 93 for Chicago, so it's going to be a hot day if anybody's heading down there. 87 for Detroit, 89 for Traverse City. Warm up in the UP, where temperatures are going to reach the mid-80s. Southwest winds will make it quite warm at the Lake Superior shoreline. Temperatures will be a little bit cooler along that north shore of Lake Michigan. Readings will only be in the 70s there. Let's look at Friday. Let's take a look at Saturday. And as you can see, we've got readings again up into the low 90s. This could be the warmest day of the 3. Chicago back to 93, Detroit up to 90, Traverse City at 93 with the south wind giving them a couple of degrees extra from downsloping. And in the UP, look at Marquette up to 89, Houghton at 89 degrees, Copper Harbor 85. That would be the wind coming straight down the peninsula. So a pretty warm weekend ahead here for us. We'll take a look at Sunday. And Sunday's high temperatures, maybe a couple degrees less. There may be some clouds around. But 91 Chicago, Traverse City back down to 85. South Haven there at 82. So plan on some warm weather here this coming weekend. 5-day forecast looks like this. And look at Monday and Tuesday. I've got a 50% chance of showers and storms. Either one of those 2 days, you should be picking up some rain. The chance of rain about 30% today. That's still slightly less than a 1 in 3 chance. Most areas stay dry here Saturday and most of Sunday. Sunday night, we could pick up a shower, thunder shower. And you can see the temperatures here, low 90s over the next several days, and then back into the mid 80s, and we have a little bit more cloud cover and that chance of rain here Monday and Tuesday. Long range outlook still showing above normal temperatures here, and that's probably going to be right. A little bit cooler in the west and cool up in Alaska. I saw that Thompson Pass had a low temperature of 29 up in Alaska. So there's places there where you'd need your coat if you were going to be outside. But rainfall amounts here for the 8 to 14-day period should be near normal here in our area. Nothing real drastic, no real major storms going on, and most of the tropical Atlantic staying rather quiet. So, Michelle, a busy day for you at the airport. I talked to you while you were helping people at find their luggage.
It's so late, and I'm so tired.
Yeah,
so
I bet.
It is 12:12 Central Time, so it's 1:12 in the morning where you are right now.
Mm-hmm. We usually tape this, close to midnight or a little before that.
Yes, but 1/3 of the production team was on the way home from Grand Rapids, and another third was working at the airport. So now everybody's home, and we're doing this.
We had a great time. My granddaughter is a horticulture major at Mississippi State, and she was very interested in going to the Meyer Gardens. And as we went around, she told me the common name of the flower, the Latin name of the flower, and what it's good for, what flowers attract bumblebees, and she had all kinds of information. She'd make a great guide to have along there. So she's got 2 years to go, horticulture there?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, down at Mississippi State.
Yeah, they had a great time. They were telling me all about it.
Yeah, she was telling me about the differences between plants where you are and plants where we are here in Michigan. Some of them are different, and some of them, come out at slightly different times because of the earlier spring, and I don't know, fall is not a whole lot different here. You get a couple of weeks extra growing season in the fall, but not all that different.
All I can say is southern bugs are loud and terrifying.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can hear. You probably can't, but we've got lots of crickets out tonight because we got a warm night. Temperatures. In fact, if I look behind me here, our temperature is still 77 at this hour. Interesting.
Okay. Let's start with a viewer comment. Hi, Bill. Did you see that Holland is now rated a D2 severe drought by NOAA, up from D1 last week? We need rain.
And you know what? Parts of Ottawa County are up to a D3 already. So it's really getting serious. And I don't know if you've been watching Storm Team 8, but they've been talking about the fact that the period from May 30th through the present time is the driest we have ever been through that stretch, across June, July, and into early August. So we really need the rain around here, and hopefully we can pick some up. We should get a little bit here, or we could get a little bit here later on today, but probably have to wait till Monday, Tuesday next week to get a general rain across the area.
And another viewer comment. Looks like you had a great time in Canada, Bill. We were going to Ocean City, Maryland for family vacation July 19. I saw you at the airport with your wife, but I didn't want to bug you at 5-something in the morning. I really wanted to come say hi, but I didn't want to intrude on your privacy, Steve.
That's really neat. I don't mind people coming up and saying hi. In fact, it really makes me feel good because it's nice to get feedback, and also it's nice to know that some people out there are watching. So Steve, thanks for coming on board. One of the other ladies that I used to work with a long time ago saw me at the airport too and didn't have time to sit and chat.
Okay, so story time. So this one time, Dad worked the night shift as he does, and we flew out to London on the first flight of the day. Because when you work for the airline, you've got to find open seats. So you take the flights that other people don't want. So we left at, I think, 6 in the morning. So I said, Dad, you're going to have a big day. So you're going to come home from work. You're going to go to bed. You're going to not look at weather anymore. And you're going to go to bed, and you can still get like 4 hours of sleep, and that's going to be a lot better than no hours of sleep. And he said, okay. So then we woke up at 4 a.m. to go get on the flight, and Mom said, oh, by the way, he never came to bed. Dad, we talked about this. I guess there was some weather storm or unusual.
Yeah, there was weather out there, and it's hard for me to sleep. I still get excited like I'm a little kid.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've been excited reading about Hurricane Evo down off Mexico.
So he did the whole trip to London, not having gone to bed the night before because he kept looking at weather, even though we talked about it. And we talked about how good it would be to go to sleep, and then he didn't.
Well, now that I'm getting old, I need that sleep.
Yeah.
I really do. But I enjoy traveling too. You know, you got two good things going on, and I love looking out the window of the airplane. I mean, I could do that for some whole flights if I'm watching cumulonimbus clouds and we're scooting in between them and all that.
Yes. If Bill is sitting next to you on an airplane, you're going to talk the entire time. And if I'm sitting next to you, I'm not going to say a word.
Yeah. And I really enjoy the pilots when they chime in. Well, the audio sometimes is a little bit weak, but, you know, when the pilots chime in and, you know, tell you we're passing by Lake or we're passing by Lake Erie. If you want to look out your window and see it, I've always appreciated that.
So there you go. Even if it's 5 in the morning, please go say hi.
Yep.
Okay. August 8, 1974. Nixon tells Ford he's out.
Wait. Nixon tells Ford that Nixon is out, right?
Yes.
Not
Nixon told Ford that Nixon was giving up.
Wow.
Yes, he gave a speech to the nation that evening. He is the only U.S. president who has resigned.
That's interesting because I came to work in Grand Rapids in 1974, so this was a big deal. When I came here, Gerald Ford had just become president, and so many people, you know, had interacted with him. He was the local congressman, so he did a lot of speeches. I was involved in Boy Scouts. I was an Eagle Scout. He was an Eagle Scout. He actually came to a couple of meetings over the course of that was after I was there, but he still supported the Boy Scouts. And yeah, I mean, people said he would just come in and just like one of the guys and, you know, light up his pipe maybe and contribute to the meeting when needed. But just
from what I could tell from doing the research, people in Michigan had a hard time not being happy because it was sad the president was resigning, but cool, the guy becoming president is a local homeboy, so how can we not be happy about that?
Side question, which president worked for the Slippery Gulch Rodeo?
The Slippery Gulch Rodeo. A rodeo, huh?
So yeah, I would have guessed Roosevelt. I mean, he was the guy that knew how to ride horses at 90 miles an hour. Grant was another one that was really good with horses, but it turns out it was Nixon.
All right.
And my trivia about Jerry Ford is he was the only president that was born in Nebraska. He was not born in Grand Rapids. He was raised here, but he was not born here. He was born in Nebraska.
And Ford was the step-parent's name. I think his last name was originally something else.
It was King. So I tell people Jerry Ford was once legally a king because that was his name.
Okay. If watching a senior pickleball tournament sounds fun to you, there's a big deal senior pickleball tournament going on in Grand Rapids starting today. It's a 3-day event at Belknap Park in Grand Rapids. It is a qualifier for the national championship, and it starts at 9 a.m. each day. And if I were in Grand Rapids, I would still be down to go watch some of this. And
if you're there, stay hydrated, drink some water, whatnot. What would they do if there was like a 40 mile an hour wind or something that day? If we hit a day with a really strong wind, would they still have it?
I mean, there'd be a rain delay.
They could be. I mean, if you have a thunderstorm, yeah. I mean, you can't be out there when there's lightning or something like that.
This tournament sounds pretty official.
Yeah. The USSP. And they got a sponsor and everything. Yeah, so Humidity gets a plug on Bill's video tonight.
So good luck to everyone, and it sounds like a fun thing to go watch.
Yeah, it is. I have a pickleball set, and I have played it probably 5 times, but mostly just following it. I haven't figured out how to score pickleball yet. So I got to look that up online because people give 3 scores. It's like 9 to 2 to 1. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's only 2 people going back and forth here. How can there be 3 scores? So I have to.
I don't know anything about it except that it seems to be popular. There's people playing it here at our local park all the time.
Yeah, we have it up in Alpine Township too, and there's times when there's people waiting for a court.
Mm-hmm. Okay, another thing you can do, August 8th, Riverside Motorcycle Rally. The proceeds are benefiting a local veterans assistance program, and there will be vendors on site. So a lot of fun stuff to do at Riverside Park.
Yeah, and that'll be a great place to be with the extra degree or 2 of cooling with the air coming down the river there, I would imagine. My Uncle Felix was a motorcycle geek. He was the chief motorcycle mechanic at Gus's in Chicago. So he was not only just a motorcycle guy. And your mother, did you know she had a motorcycle for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, not a big, huge, handlebars up here Harley or anything like that. But yeah, my wife, your mother, had a motorcycle.
August 8, 1920, the Tigers played the shortest game in American League history. It lasted 1 hour and 13 minutes.
Wow, that's interesting.
And the Tigers won. The Detroit pitcher for the game was Howard Emke. And look, there's a photo of Howard. And the Yankees had their chance. They had 2 on in the 5th inning, but then the Detroit Tigers pulled the hidden ball trick and made the outs.
That's pulled about a time or 2 a year in the big leagues. Today, somebody will actually do the hidden ball trick. They'll go and they'll pretend to meet at the mound, and then they'll all go back to their positions, and the guy will take a lead off a second base or something, and somebody will run up and tag him. So I've seen that happen before. An hour and 13 minutes. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty interesting.
Yep.
And of course, they got the pitch clock in there now, so that that speeds games up just a little bit. But yeah, interesting.
Okay, here's your quiz question. See what you know about tennis today. This Swiss tennis player was born August 8, 1981. He won Wimbledon 8 times, the U.S. Open 5 times, and the Australian Open 6 times. Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, I'm like showing how much I don't watch tennis because I probably didn't pronounce those right, were his rivals.
Yeah, that would be Roger Federer.
Very good. Happy birthday, Roger Federer.
Yeah. My wife watches TV tennis quite a bit.
And her mom loved tennis too.
Yep, and yeah, Grandma loved tennis.
Which we learned on an earlier show. It's not that old of a game.
No. Interesting.
August 8, 1988, the lights turned on for the first time at this Major League Baseball stadium. It was the last stadium to install stadium lights for night games. And you're laughing
against Wrigley Field.
Yes. Very good. Chicago Cubs.
And Barney Freiberg. Wow.
How many games do you think you've been to there?
Let's see. I don't know. I remember the first game I grew up on the north side of Chicago, Wilmette, Evanston, north suburbs. We would take the L down there. And I remember taking the L down with my dad. And this was, this must have been about 1958 or 59. In 1959, the White Sox won the pennant. The manager was Al Lopez. And this is 8 years old. I'm learning this stuff. I can almost remember every position on the White Sox that year. There was Sherm Lawler was the catcher, and he was really slow. He was once thrown out at first base on a clear single line drive to right field because he didn't make it there fast enough. Let's see. There was Minnie Minoso, Jungle Jim Rivera, and Jim Landis in the outfield. There was Gene Freeze at third base. The pitchers were, let's see, Billy Pierce, Bob Shaw, and Early Wynn. And Early was his real first name. It was kind of like a who's on first name, Let's see. Who else was there? Oh, yeah, Nellie Fox at second base and Little Louis Aparicio at shortstop. And they were great at turning double plays. But getting back to the Cubs there a little bit, the Cubs, that was in the era where you had Ernie Banks and George Altman. And I think that was probably, I don't know, that were right about the time Ron Santos showed up there too, and Eddie Boucher, Don Kessinger. We could be here all night with me trying to name baseball players, but I
I have
I
another
love
question.
baseball.
How
I
old were
still
you?
like going to Whitecaps games.
How old were you the first time you took the L by yourself?
Wow, I think I was a golf caddy. Maybe by then I was probably 13, maybe, and I went down there. We used to hang hard hats at Ray's Bleachers, which was a bar across the street, tavern, not a bar. And everybody used to have their yellow hard hats up there, and then put the hard hats on and go and sit in the bleachers. And I remember when I sat in the bleachers for the first time, I think tickets were only like $1. I mean, it really wasn't that expensive. And there was a guy with one tooth that was selling frosty malts. And then they started throwing the home run balls back from the opposing team.
Uh-huh.
You got to keep them if it was a Cub home run, and I never had one come near me. I've gotten I got a ball at the Whitecaps once, but I normally get out of the way, let the little kids go for them.
But you did get the T-shirt gun at the Minnesota Twins game that one time in 2001.
Yeah, and that was really interesting because I had my picture up on the jumbotron. This is so cool. The replay of me catching the shirt, and it was a shirt for kids. So I found a kid and gave him the shirt. So that was interesting. Yeah, we went.
He doesn't remember, but the kid was me. The shirt was a size medium. Oh, so I got
right.
I liked it.
There were. Let's see. We went to 2 games. I was at a convention for TV meteorologists, and a bunch of us meteorologists, like 50 of us, went to the Minnesota Twins game. And I liked it so much that I went back the next night with all of you. So that was fun.
Fun fact, I played the piano at the banquet of that meteorologist convention.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that fun?
It was. Okay.
And okay, go ahead.
What else do we have? August 8, 1933, Wayne State University founded. So if you've got any connection to Wayne State, here's some information for you. There are currently 23,000 people enrolled at Wayne State, and that is about the size of Grand Valley. Wayne State was founded in 1933. Grand Valley founded in 1960. There were some other schools that merged and became a part of Wayne State that were earlier, like the Medical College, a School of Education, and the School of Law was a little bit earlier than that. And the school was named after General Anthony Wayne, a leader in the Revolutionary War, and Wayne County is named after him as well.
Very interesting. I did not know that. So some of our colleges here are relatively recent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Harvard or William and Mary or something like that. GVSU only goes back to 1960.
Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a total tangent, but why not? One time, Dan and I were having breakfast in a hotel in Grand Rapids, and the Wayne State University football team was there having breakfast because they had a game in Grand Rapids that day.
Mm-hmm.
And we overheard a conversation with the football coaches about how they had a minister come in to pump up the team.
Wow.
Well, the minister decided to give a speech about, so this was a different game, and the minister was giving a speech in the locker room, but the speech went to how winning doesn't matter. Your wins in the world don't matter. It's only what you do after that in life. And the coaches were kind of like, this isn't really a speech that's going to fire anyone up to win a football game. And they were like, should we stop him? No, let him finish. We're playing Hillsdale.
Yeah. Isn't that fun? Wow. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because how many students does Hillsdale have?
1,200 when I went there.
Okay, I think it's up to about 1,500 now. But I mean, these schools with 22,000, 23,000 are competing against Hillsdale, which is kind of like a high school with 1,600 students.
Yeah, well, Hillsdale's out of the GLIAC now, so.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there was talk of with Grand Valley winning everything so often about trying to move them up into the MAC.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they'd rather sit here and win everything in the in the GLIAC and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But wow.
Okay, how many colleges and universities are there in Michigan? And I do not think community colleges are counted in this.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what counted and what didn't.
Well, let's rule out 393 and go between 53 and 93. Let's do 53.
There are 93. So maybe
And
community colleges do count. I'm not sure.
go,
There are
go
15 public universities in Michigan. I was surprised there's fewer than I would have guessed out of 93. Only 15 are public.
Go back to the last slide. I wanted to point out that Michelle is giving the radio station B93 a little,
Oh, yeah.
little extra
I
plug
didn't think
here.
of that. Yeah.
Interesting. There it is, B93.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
So
are
not
some
that many
things
public
here.
ones. Mm-hmm. And then my next question was, how many college students in Michigan attend a private school versus a public school? And even though there are far more private schools, only 20% of Michigan's college students attend a private institution.
Yeah, private schools tend to be small, and public
Mhm.
schools tend to be big.
Yeah, many small ones versus 65,000 versus 311.
No, I went to the University of Wisconsin, which has over 40,000 students.
Mhm.
So it was big.
Mhm.
And the sports teams are doing better. When I got there, the sports teams were, we used to kid that, South Dakota's School of Mines could beat Wisconsin, but they got better as time goes on. They got Barry Alvarez in as football coach and then athletic director, and then the school took off. Athletics, interesting.
All right, and another beautiful photo from Bradley Taylor. I wish I was there.
Yeah, isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
That's the sun setting, and I'm sure there's some clouds there, and there's probably a little bit of smoke in the air too. We've had smoke most of the summer here, but a beautiful picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Beautiful.
Rolling countryside there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep, and I love the different colors of green.
Yes, and the different colors of the sky at sunset here in Michigan really
Kind of reminds me of the drives to and from Hillsdale in the summer.
Yeah, that was a nice drive. I remember going back and forth quite a few times. You were a cheerleader, so we would go and watch the football and basketball games, and watch you do roundabout back handsprings halfway across the court.
Mm-hmm. That poor little Saturn made it every single trip. Sometimes I don't know how.
Yeah.
Okay, and John Scully, thank you for the beautiful photo. I love the ripples on the lake.
Yeah, we got a gull there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? We've had very little wind over the last several days here. I think the average wind speed over the last 5 or 6 days has only been about 4 to 5 miles an hour. So the
wonder
lake
what time of day it is, if that's early or late.
For what was that?
I wonder what time of day this photo was taken.
Oh,
a lot of his are mornings.
Yeah, because he gets up early sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the great pictures, of course, the sunsets are what we see here in West Michigan. If you were in Milwaukee, you'd be seeing the sunrise.
Yeah, thank you so much for sending the photo and all the photos.
Yeah, we like the photos here.
And did I forget John Doherty today? Oh,
you
sorry,
did.
John. We'll get you tomorrow. Sorry,
Okay.
Oversight on my part.
Sounds good. Well, I want to remind everybody again, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Bill Steffen 616 on YouTube. We got a lot of interesting information to share. We do the videos here almost every day, so hope you're coming here to check us out. Thanks so much. And boy, I want to tell you to stay cool here over the next several days and stay hydrated. Have a good one.